My name is John Carpenter, and I'm a 62-year-old retired firefighter. I never thought I would find myself sharing such an intimate story with the world. However, after my profound near-death experience, I came to understand that I have no choice but to tell it. What I experienced was too profound and too urgent to keep to myself, especially in the tumultuous times we find ourselves in. On January 15, 2025, I died for 9 minutes. During that fleeting moment, Jesus Christ unveiled truths to me about the fires in California, truths that shook me to my very core. I have a message to share with you, one that has the potential to change everything if we choose to heed its call. For 3 decades, I dedicated my life to serving as a firefighter with the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection. Fighting fires was more than just a job for me. It was my true calling. Each time I entered those blazing infernos, I felt the guiding and protective presence of God by my side. Even after retiring, I remained deeply engaged in the field as a consultant and trainer, dedicated to sharing my knowledge and experience with the next generation of firefighters. The morning of January 15th began like any other day. I was on my way to a fire safety training session at a nearby community center. The air was crisp and clear, yet as I drove, an unsettling feeling began to wash over me. My chest felt like a vice, and I gasped for air. I decided to pull over, believing that all I needed was a brief moment to regain my composure. That was the last thing I recalled before everything faded to black. What unfolded next transformed my perception of life, death, and the spiritual struggle we are all engaged in. The first thing that struck me upon losing consciousness wasn't the expected darkness. It was light, but this wasn't the harsh glare of a hospital room or even the gentle glow of dawn. No, it was a vibrant, pulsating light, a light that felt as if it emanated from both everywhere and nowhere all at once. It was a sensation of being alive, fully aware, and enveloped in love. I could see my body slumped over in my truck as people hurried to assist. Yet I felt no fear or panic about leaving it behind. Instead, I was overwhelmed by a profound sense of peace, one so deep that words fail to capture its essence. Every worry and earthly concern melted away, leaving me in a state of serene clarity. In an instant, the scene below began to blur and I felt an irresistible pull upward, as if I were ascending through layers of reality. With each layer I passed, profound truths unfolded before me, revealing the depths of existence. It wasn't merely flying or floating. It felt as though the very fabric of existence was unfolding around me. With each passing moment, I was enveloped by an overwhelming presence of love. Then he appeared before me. Jesus Christ stood there. Though stood hardly captures it, his presence was all-encompassing, filling every space around me. He was both majestic and profoundly personal, as if the entire universe resided within him. His love was so overwhelming that it brought me to my knees, even though I no longer possessed a physical body to kneel with. How can I possibly describe his face? It exuded a captivating blend of power and tenderness, majesty and compassion. His eyes seemed to contain entire galaxies. Yet when they met mine, I felt as though I were the only soul in existence. He knew every detail about me, every mistake, every doubt, every moment of weakness, and despite it all, his love for me remained unwavering. John, he communicated, not through words but through a direct stream of thoughts that flowed into my mind. I have brought you here for a reason. You need to grasp the reality of what is unfolding in California. What you are about to witness is something you must share with my people. In a heartbeat, the world around us shifted dramatically. Gone was the radiant light that had enveloped us. Instead, we found ourselves gazing down at California. Yet this was not the familiar California I had always known. What lay before us was a breathtaking perspective that unveiled the spiritual essence hidden beneath its surface. What I witnessed left me utterly speechless. The fires sweeping across the state were not merely physical flames. They were vivid symbols of a profound spiritual struggle that had been brewing for generations. In that moment, Jesus guided my gaze toward regions shrouded in deep spiritual darkness. Watch closely, he instructed. As I did, I noticed that the dark areas perfectly aligned with the spots where the physical fires wreaked the most havoc. But then, I was confronted with something even more chilling. Amidst the flames, I discerned the presence of entities. They were not physical beings, instead they were living shadows, spiritual entities that appeared to thrive on the very flames themselves. As the fires raged, they twisted and writhed, gaining strength with every acre consumed by the blaze. Jesus explained, "These fires are not just natural disasters, they are tangible embodiments of spiritual decay. The enemy has discovered a rich soil in the hearts of those who have strayed from truth, from love, and from me. With every choice my children make to embrace the ways of the world instead of my ways, these entities gain strength." He revealed to me the inner workings of these entities. They didn't initiate the physical fires themselves. That wasn't necessary. Instead, they subtly guided human choices and behaviors, crafting an environment where fires could effortlessly spark and spread. They thrived on fear, anger, and above all, spiritual apathy. Then Jesus urged me to look deeper. In that moment, I began to perceive how these dark forces subtly whispered lies into the hearts of people. God isn't real. Truth is merely relative. Your comfort takes precedence over spiritual growth. Each individual who succumbed to these deceptions contributed to the encroaching darkness. As this darkness deepened, the physical fires became increasingly difficult to manage. Yet, amidst this turmoil, Jesus revealed something beautiful to me, something that ignited a spark of hope within my heart. In certain places, I witnessed radiant points of light boldly pushing back against the encroaching darkness. Jesus explained that these lights represented individuals and communities who had steadfastly maintained their faith. They prioritized God in their lives and cultivated authentic relationships with Him. "Pay close attention to this," Jesus instructed. As I listened, a vivid series of visions unfolded before me, stretching across decades. I witnessed the gradual departure of California from genuine faith. It wasn't an abrupt change. Rather, it was a slow, almost imperceptible transformation that took place over time. Before we continue, just one request. Please subscribe to our channel. It really helps us keep going. People didn't outright reject God. Instead, they gradually pushed Him to the edges of their lives. As time passed, authentic worship was overshadowed by mere entertainment. Profound faith transformed into superficial spirituality, and genuine community was sacrificed at the altar of digital connections. At this moment in the vision, I witnessed something truly remarkable. As we journeyed through these layers of existence, I began to feel the heartfelt prayers of those who had steadfastly remained faithful. These prayers shimmered like radiant streams of light, cutting through the spiritual darkness and forging pathways of hope and renewal. Each prayer carried a palpable weight, a powerful force that stood firm against the encroaching darkness. Jesus explained, "The prayers of my people are not mere words. They become weapons when my children pray with genuine hearts. Their prayers resonate through the spiritual realm, thwarting the enemy's schemes." I witnessed families gathered around dinner tables, hands clasped together in unity as they prayed. I saw small groups of believers convening in homes, their heartfelt prayers weaving protective barriers around their communities. In one poignant scene, I observed an elderly woman kneeling by her bedside, her whispered prayers radiating waves of light that pushed back the encroaching shadows. These humble acts of faith were creating a profound and transformative impact. Then Jesus revealed to me the profound connection between these prayers and acts of love and service. I witnessed how people transformed their faith into action by caring for the poor, offering comfort to the brokenhearted, and extending forgiveness to those who had wronged them. In doing so, they created a space where darkness could not take root. I witnessed entire neighborhoods undergo a remarkable transformation as individuals embraced their faith through meaningful actions. Each act of love and kindness felt like a seed of light, taking root and flourishing, ultimately creating vibrant pockets of hope in the midst of darkness. Yet, not every aspect of the vision was filled with hope. Jesus led me to places where darkness reigned supreme. where the flames blazed fiercely and shadows thrived on the deepest greed. In these haunting realms, individuals had surrendered entirely to selfishness, avarice, and hatred. In these tumultuous conditions, the spiritual entities flourished, weaving webs of deceit and division that shattered families and fractured communities. I witnessed firsthand how these lies perpetuated cycles of despair, blinding individuals to the truth and making it nearly impossible for them to find their way back to clarity. These fires serve as both a warning and a wake-up call, Jesus said. They are intended to draw my children back to me, to remind them of what truly matters. Yet many have hardened their hearts, turning a blind eye to the signs. As he spoke, a profound wave of sadness washed over me. It wasn't merely the sorrow of witnessing destruction. It was also the heartache for the lost opportunities, the countless moments when people had the chance to turn back but chose to press on instead. Jesus' love for these individuals shone brightly, even amidst their rebellion. His heart ached for each soul that had fallen prey to deception, for every person who opted for the temporary comforts of the world instead of embracing the everlasting joy of knowing him. "John," he said, shifting his gaze toward me, "you need to help them understand. You must convey that there is still time, but they must act swiftly. The opportunity is narrowing and the enemy is fully aware of it. That's why he is relentlessly spreading fear and deceit." With those words, he unveiled the future to me. I found myself standing at a crossroads where two distinct paths stretched out before me, each promising a dramatically different outcome. On one path, I witnessed a profound transformation. People heeded the call, returning to God with hearts full of humility and repentance. Churches transformed into true sanctuaries of worship and prayer, transcending mere social gatherings. Families began to prioritize their faith over entertainment, fostering a deep sense of community rooted in love and service. As this light spread, it illuminated the shadows, driving out the darkness that once lingered. On the alternate path, individuals chose to disregard the warnings. They relentlessly pursued their own desires, placing their faith in technology, politics, and human ingenuity. As a result, the fires intensified, devouring not only forests and homes, but also the very essence of society itself. Division and chaos took hold, and the darkness deepened, creating an atmosphere that felt almost insurmountable. "The choice is theirs," Jesus declared, his voice resonating with a blend of love and urgency, "but they must decide now. The time for hesitation has passed." As I began to sense the gentle tug pulling me back toward my body, Jesus imparted one last message to me. "Convey to them the depth of my love. Let them know that it's not too late to return to me, but they must make that choice now. The moment for indecision has come to an end. The era of half-hearted faith is behind us. They must choose. Will they serve me wholeheartedly, or will they persist on their current journey?" The decision was theirs to make, but time was running out. In an instant, I found myself back in my body, struggling to breathe as paramedics hovered over me, their urgency palpable. It was only later that I discovered the shocking truth. I had been clinically dead for 9 long minutes. According to all medical assessments, I should have experienced brain damage. Yet remarkably, my mind was sharper than ever, brimming with the urgent message that Jesus had entrusted to me. This is precisely why I feel compelled to share my story now. The fires in California represent more than just natural disasters. They carry a deeper significance. A spiritual awakening is upon us. The answer does not lie in more technology or improved policies. Rather, it calls for a return to genuine faith that has the power to transform both lives and communities. Jesus made it clear that the choice is ours to make, but time is of the essence. Let us choose the path of repentance and renewal before it slips away from us.